Do not become a med-surg nurse if you don't want to become a med-surg nurse. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joy. I'm a neonatal nurse practitioner living here in Houston. I make content about nursing, living here in Houston, and how to achieve your goals. If this sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and push that subscribe button and let's get into the content. Today I'm going to be talking about how I got my dream job. If you're interested in becoming a neonatal nurse practitioner, this video is for you. I'm going to be talking about the education that's required, the nursing experience that's required, and my experience with grad school and my experience in being a new neonatal nurse practitioner. So as a brand new baby new grad nurse, I started in the NICU. I never worked as a nurse anywhere else. And I will tell you, in nursing school, they will tell you 1,001 times that you need to do med-surg. You need to do med-surg before you specialize. And I'm here to tell you that if you have no interest in being a med-surg nurse, do not go be a med-surg nurse. Like, if you want to work in dermatology, just go straight to dermatology. If you want to work in cardiology, go straight to cardiology. Do not become a med-surg nurse if you don't want to become a med-surg nurse. In the NICU, they love new grads. They hire new grads all the time. So if you want to work in the NICU, you want to take care of babies, or you want to be a nurse practitioner like me, go straight to the NICU. They're not going to teach you anything about NICU nursing in nursing school. Like, you don't learn anything about NICU nursing until you start the job, and the job teaches you everything you need to know. So if you want to be a NICU nurse, that's the route you need to take. Just go straight into it right out of nursing school. Okay, as far as my education, I went to Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville for the nursing program. While I was in the nursing program, I worked at a hospital as a student nurse tech. The reason I did this is because if you work at a hospital while you're in nursing school, they will give you tuition assistance. They will help you pay for your degree. So this is what I did. I worked as a student nurse, and then I got assistance paying for my bachelor's degree because of that, because I worked as a student nurse. I advise you to do that to avoid as many student loans as you possibly can. This job allowed me to practice my nursing skills because I was a student nurse. Nurses let me start IVs, they let me put in Foleys, like they let me do stuff with them because I was a student nurse, not just a CNA. You know, they knew I was in nursing school. So this is a good position for you to have if you are interested in becoming a nurse. If you watch my surviving nursing school video, then you would know that I did fail 2 classes while in nursing school, which was pretty devastating for me, and it set me back for a time. So instead of finishing in 4 years, I finished in 5 years, and that was pretty hard because I was a single mom at the time. So if you're getting your bachelor's degree, just understand that it can take you anywhere from 4 to 5 years depending on life, because life be life. So plan for that if that's what you want to do. If you want to get your bachelor's degree, 4 to 5 years. And obviously you have to have your bachelor's degree in order to become a nurse practitioner. So plan for that. After you finish nursing school, you have to take the NCLEX. I took the NCLEX and I passed the first time. Something to be mindful of, you will get a lot of job offers before you graduate with your bachelor's. You will get a lot of nursing job offers. So I had a lot of nursing job offers. I didn't actually start working until after I passed boards. Sometimes hospitals will give you the option to work as a grad nurse, so you can work before you pass boards. But I had seen too many people take that job as a grad nurse, fail boards because they've been working as a nurse instead of studying. And I just didn't want that life. Like, I wanted to be able to pass boards and then work. So I waited. I did accept my job as a NICU nurse, but then I waited to start until after I passed boards. And this is just a side note, but just to let you know, like, you will get a lot of job offers, and some job offers will offer you more money than others. And something that I told myself is that I will not chase the money. I will chase happiness. I had a job offer that offered me way more money than my job as a NICU nurse. My friends accepted jobs that took way more money, and I just felt like I was going to be really poor and broke. But I was going to be happy doing the job that I was doing. And because of that, I was happy at my job. Now, a lot of times I would talk to my friends and they would just be miserable. They would have 7 patients, you know, they would be overworked. And I just wasn't living that life as a NICU nurse. Money is important, but your happiness is even more important. So do not accept a job based off of money. Do not chase money. Chase happiness, okay? That's just a side note on when it comes to picking your job. Okay, so now I passed NCLEX and I'm working as a NICU nurse. In order to apply for your master's program, you have to work in a level 3 to 4 NICU for at least 2 years. And so at the end of the 2 years of me working as a NICU nurse, I immediately applied to go back for my master's degree. This is important because I knew I wanted to be a nurse practitioner. I knew that from the beginning. When I first went to nursing school, I knew that. But when you get in that 2 year, around 2 year mark, you start to get real comfortable. Like you're making good money, you're comfortable with your job finally. And so it's very easy to just put off grad school. Like, I'll just do it later. Fortunately for me, I had a friend who was going back to grad school. She didn't really have a choice. Her sisters are all nurse practitioners, so it was kind of a requirement for her. And one night we were working, she printed out the paperwork for me and threw it on my desk like, it's time to go back to school. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. But in reality, I knew what I had to do. And so that night we went on ahead and like filled out our paperwork to go back to grad school. People are going to tell you like, you need to have more experience. 2 years is not enough. Like I literally had a very experienced nurse who I respected tell me like, you're going back to grad school? Like, girl, if you don't get up on my face, you've been here, you've been a nurse for 15 years doing the same thing every day you come to work and you haven't went back to school. That don't have nothing to do with me. You cannot let people speak their fear and negativity on you. You're going to have senior nurses say stuff like that. Like, oh, you don't have any loyalty to the job. I heard it all. I heard so many things like, you don't have any loyalty to the job. You haven't been a nurse long enough. You shouldn't be going back this soon. This is your life. Do not let anybody talk to you crazy, okay? Let them say what they're going to say and let them stay in the role that they're in while you go ahead and progress to the next level. Because their opinion doesn't matter. It only takes 2 years for you to go back to get your master's degree. And that's it. That's the only requirement. So their approval is not a requirement of going back to get your master's degree. I went to the University of Missouri, Kansas City to get my master's degree. The way the master's degree was set up through my job is they had like some kind of agreement. So basically they sent all their nurses there to get the education. I mean, you wasn't required to go there, but it was just like an easier path to get there. There was no special treatment. They didn't like give you anything extra to be able to get into their program, but like you had just more like assistance, more boost to like get you there, you know? And so that's kind of how it was set up. Like almost all of their nurse practitioners now at my old job all went through that program at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And so in order to get into that program, like I said, you had to have 2 years of experience at a level 3 or level 4. And then we had to have a letter of recommendation from the managers of the nurse practitioner group. So she wrote my letter. I applied to get into grad school. I had the grades, I had the GPA, and I had the letter, I had the experience. And so I was approved. I got into the program. This particular program is online. Something I will tell you is like, try to find a program that's not online. And yes, it was nice for me because I'm a single mom. So it was nice for me to be able to do my stuff online. But if you're doing your program online and you don't have professors who lecture, like at least record it for you, like it's hard. I was finding myself like trying to read, trying to study, watching YouTube videos, just trying to get some type of clarity, because the way I learn is not just solely based off of reading. Like I learn from hearing and doing, and I know that. And so lecture and clinicals is very important to me. I need to be able to hear it and do it and see it, you know. So just being able to read it wasn't enough. It made the program very hard for me. So if you can find a program that's not just solely online, or a program that has lectures for you, do that instead. With my program, I could finish in 3 years if I went full-time, or 4 years if I went part-time. Obviously, I needed to go part-time because I had a kid. So I went part-time. It was still very hard, very challenging to do. And if you know my videos, then you know that I failed Neonatal 2 in my last semester. And I failed that class by half of a point. And so I had to wait an entire year to be able to take that class again. So that put me at the 4-year mark. With my program, you could finish in 2 years if you went full-time, or 3 years if you went part-time. Again, because I was working in a hospital, I was able to get tuition assistance. So every semester I got a check to pay tuition. No, it did not cover the full program. No, it was not enough, but it still helped. Once I got into the heavy duty classes, the hard classes, I had to cut back my schedule and become part-time. And that's when I started working weekend option, because you could work 2 days and you can still get paid like you're working full-time. So I started working only on Saturday and Sunday, and then throughout the week I would study, and that helped me. But it also cut back on my money, because you can't pick up overtime. You can't work extra. You can't work full time. It's very hard, and have a kid. I mean, I'm sure people have done it, but it was very hard for me to do, because I had to manage being a parent, paying bills, and also learning. It was a lot. Even with all that hard work, I still failed neonatal 2. I still was set back an entire year. And during that year, I went to go travel nurse to a level 4 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which I really enjoyed. If you want me to make a video on travel nursing, just leave a comment down below and I'll talk more about travel nursing. But that's what I did in that time that I had off. I really enjoyed it. But it was very devastating that I had to wait that year, and I had to give my job back. I had already accepted a job with that company as a nurse practitioner, so I had to give that job back, and I had to tell everybody. It was pretty embarrassing, but what I will tell you is failure is part of the process. When going through nursing school, you will fail some classes, or if you don't fail classes, you will have some friends that fail classes. Like, this is normal. This is part of the process. Don't give up. Stay focused. Stay consistent. And you have to know, like, in order to achieve your goals, sacrifices have to be made. Failures will happen, but you can get there. You can get there if you stay focused. And that's exactly what I did. I stayed focused. I came back from traveling the next year, and then I took the class over. When I took the class over, things just clicked for me. They felt better because it was my second time around hearing them, and I understood the content more. Now, I was told by my professor in this class, if I did not pass this the first time around, that statistics show that I would not be able to pass boards. And that lady told me that, I feel like, to hold me back. Like, she literally told me, maybe nurse practitioner, it's not for you right now. Maybe you should just be focused on, raising your daughter. She gave me nothing good. She gave nothing good to me. She just tried to tear me down. And if I would have listened to her to this day, I would not be where I am. So stay focused, y'all, and don't let nobody tell you what's not for you. If you ask anybody out there who's successful, or anybody out there who's ever achieved anything, they will tell you that they have failed at some point in their journey. The difference between them and someone who's not successful is the fact that they did not give up, they did not stop working hard for their goals, and they did not listen to anybody who told them that it wasn't for them. Now, this had not been the first time that I had ever heard from a professor that nursing wasn't for me, and it probably won't be the last time, knowing how much I like to be in school. But seeing that lady sit across me on that Zoom and look at me with a straight face after I just sacrificed years and struggled for years to understand this content, look at me with a straight face and tell me how I need to just not be a nurse practitioner, I need to focus on being a parent right now, that really pissed me off. And at that point, that's when she became the villain in my story. She became the person who I had to let know. Like, girl, you're not going to sit here and tell me who I am. There's no need to say her name, because villains don't need to be getting credit out here. But just know that she is a professor at my school. And I'm going to tell y'all this, just like she told me. Statistics say that if you did not pass this class the first time with a B, then you probably will not pass boards. Lady, if statistics was right, I would never be sitting here in this class. Statistically, I was a teen mom. Statistically, I was a divorced woman. Statistically, I am African American. Statistically, I am a woman. Statistically, I am a single mother. Statistically, I am a non-traditional student. I am in my 30s. Statistically, I was a child who grew up in the projects. Statistically, I was a child who grew up on welfare. Statistically, I have had a parent on drugs. Statistically, I have had a father in jail. Okay, you're not going to tell me about statistics. Statistics do not apply to me. So if you are a professor and you are in charge of talking to students, don't talk to students like that. Be helpful or be quiet. And you know what? Now I'm a Black woman with 3 degrees making 6 figures because I didn't listen to her and I didn't listen to anybody who told me that statistically this life wasn't for me. I retook the class, I passed the class, and of course I had job offers before I even took boards. Texas was a place who offered me 2 positions and I just wanted a fresh start. So it was between Austin and it was between Houston. And obviously you guys know by now that I chose Houston. I had certain requirements that I had that were important to me when I was interviewing for these jobs. So even though they were interviewing me, I was also interviewing them. So make sure when you're looking for your nurse practitioner job, you know exactly what you want and you don't settle. Like, I really wanted a place that I knew that I can grow. I wanted a place that would support me in my growth. I knew that I didn't want to work in a big level 4. Like, all of these things that I knew I wanted, I got. So you can get that as well. And don't settle for your salary because you worked hard. Like, negotiate. I know that you're a new grad and you feel like you can't negotiate, but you can. And I'm here to tell you can because I did. And I got exactly what I wanted when I negotiated my salary. So make sure you negotiate your salary. All right. So if your dream is to become a neonatal nurse practitioner, make sure you go for your dream immediately. Right after you get out of nursing school, go ahead and apply to a level 3 or a level 4 NICU. Work for 2 years and then go ahead and get your master's degree. After that, go ahead and start thinking about where you want to live. Because yes, you will get a lot of job offers, but a lot of those job offers will require you to relocate. So be open to relocating, know exactly what you want, and go for your dream. Definitely do not take the job until after you've already visited the hospital, you've already met like your coworkers, the people who will be precepting you. You've already visited the city. Like, don't take a job blindly. Make sure that you vet out these places and make sure you vet out the location before you accept the job. You've worked so hard to get here. Once you graduate, please leave me a comment letting me know that you graduated, or once you get that job, leave a comment and let me know that you got the job. I am so excited for you guys. I really, really love my job and I want you to experience this rewarding career. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share this video with anybody who you know is in nursing school. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Baby girl, you are so pretty, pretty, pretty.